Gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another episode here in the Fruitfully Honest podcast in Fruitville, Florida. I am your host, Robert Jones, with my co-host,
DJ Easy Rock, or Jack Caroselli.
and we are here to rock your world.
See, I finally got it right this time.
Yeah, you did, Jack. You did a great job. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing Lyin Ted,
Lyin Ted.
the Zodiac Killer,
The
Ted,
Zodiac Killer Ted.
Raphael Edward Cruz.
His
Ted
name's
Cruz.
Raphael.
Yes, his first name is
Oh,
Raphael.
boy.
You will figure out more about that when we first get into our papers. So, yeah.
Yeah, so previously we've talked about, what? We talked about Trump and Hillary so far, just them.
Yes.
So now we're on to the, what used to be the number 2 candidate. Now I kind of feel like he's even
He
taking
was
a
number
back
1
seat.
at first.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, now he's kind of taking a number 3 seat. Kasich's doing a little bit
Yes.
better than him.
Kasich is getting there.
So,
Yeah, I know
Well, yeah.
we had the Trump rally up here yesterday.
oh yeah.
Pretty
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
I didn't attend, but I saw some Instagram posts or
I
whatever.
maybe should have been there just to check it out, seeing that I am kind of a Trump supporter.
Right.
Yeah. But
Well-
we're not talking about Trump today.
No, we're talking about Lyin Ted Cruz.
the Zodiac Killer.
Let's go ahead and get into his finances. In terms of his campaign, he's raised about $110.4 million
Yes.
for this campaign.
40% super PAC, 60% individual donation.
Yeah, 0% from himself. So he is not
Yes.
self-funded whatsoever.
Well, he has personal money problems. He's borrowed a lot of money
Right.
for student loan stuff and mortgages and that kind of stuff. So he's not doing too good.
No. I also have here 99% or 66 million of those campaign donations are from individual contributions, so big corporations. And his top 5 industries that I have listed here are Republican, that's an industry apparently, 1.6 million, and 112,000 from super PACs. Then number 2, oil and gas, so they have him in his pocket, about 950,000, 179,000 from super PACs. Number 3, lawyers and law firms, almost $1 million. Retired, 820,000, and then securities and investment at 750,000.
Interesting. So, do you want to just jump into some of the policies?
I mean, before we do that, I want to talk about, because you know what, when we talked about Hillary, we talked about how she's bought and paid for by these corporations.
Yes.
I don't feel like anyone talks about that with Cruz, but I feel like he is just as much.
Well, I mean, but he's not collecting multiple hundreds of millions of dollars, and he doesn't have a past record of
Right.
that kind of stuff. So,
But he is taking a lot of money from corporations, things like that. Obviously, oil and gas being his number 2 industry donor ever in this campaign. He's a bona fide Republican politician, bought and paid for by large corporations.
Cold conservative.
Oh, yeah. Coming in, he's the number 1 recipient from a lot of corporations this election season. So they're like he is their main target to give him money. In his top 10 zip codes for money, all of them are from either Houston, Spring, Midland, Dallas, or Austin, Texas.
Yes.
So it's all in Texas. So yeah, he
I just want to say one thing before we get started. Shout out to Harriet Tubman.
Oh yeah.
She is now on the $20 bill.
Oh yeah. I don't know when they're rolling that out.
Yeah, Jack, did you hear about what Ben Carson said about
I
her
have
being
no
on the
idea.
bill? Well, Fox News interviewed Ben Carson about Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill, and Ben was like, "I think there's other ways for us to commemorate her. I don't think the $20 bill is a good approach. I think we should put her on the $2 bill instead. I think that'd be a much better way of showing your appreciation."
Yeah,
I
because
just
when's the
wanna bring
last
that
time
up
you saw a goddamn $2 bill?
Because I thought that was pretty funny when he said that. Like, I mean, I disagree with him. I think, I personally, I think they should have put Oprah on the $20 bill, but because I think that she has contributed more to society as a whole.
Yeah,
But-
I think this whole because Andrew Jackson, I don't know if you know a lot about U.S. history. The Age of Jackson, he essentially was the main guy who pushed the natives out, and he was behind
he
slavery.
also broke up the central banks, which is good. But let's get back to Ted Cruz. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, overall with his finances, he's sort of bought and paid for by corporations. So let's sort of move on now. to his positions, because this will play in his electability later on.
But first before we get into there, do you think he has enough experience to be president? Because I don't think so. He's only a junior senator.
You know, whenever I don't think it matters. I think he has enough experience.
Okay.
Because I think Trump has no political experience, right? Has he ever been a?
I mean, he's the president of a company.
Well, right, but like in terms of like national politics or whatever. I don't think that whole experience thing matters. I really honestly feel like I saw your tweet the other day about younger people running this country, the founding fathers being in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
So I don't know how old Ted Cruz is. Is he in his 40s?
He's 44, I believe.
44. So, you know, he's younger, but I think Barack Obama was actually younger than he was when he started. No?
Well, yeah, when he started getting into politics. This is why I think we should think about like Austin Peterson, a libertarian candidate.
Right.
He was born in 1981, so that makes him about 35.
Now available.
He's just now available.
We need to stop that limit.
Yeah.
35 years old or more.
I think I should
president.
be allowed to run for president next year. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You should be. I don't know why you can't. Well, I know why you can't, but it's a dumb reason.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get some of his positions, because you actually have the most of them today, so you're going to rapid fire them, and we'll talk about them as we go.
Yeah, so I have down here, because I know I've been getting some criticism for going off the script. I just want to mention that. I have written here on a piece of paper, immigration. Ted Cruz wants to build a wall. He stole the idea from Donald Trump.
Right.
And he wants to do this to stop illegal immigration. He believes in no path to citizenship. So he's pretty hard and conservative on.
Well, see, the only thing, I don't understand the wall thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I feel like he wants to invest in the military. If you already have a lot of money invested in the military, I don't really think you need to build a wall.
Good point. But you still have 100,000 people coming over every month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think illegal immigration is good. I think people who are already here and paying taxes and whatever, they need to be treated right.
Fairly.
Yeah, because we were founded on a group immigration. So I think that's what we need to stay with.
Yeah. So we have a quote here from Ted Cruz about abortion.
Let's hear it.
It is life is a gift from God. It is our basic right as human beings. So he is clearly pro-life.
Let me ask you a question.
Candidate.
Do you remember anything from in the womb?
Not at all, Jack.
Memories can't develop until I believe it's 2 years old. So, it's not even like the fetus. It's not even. You're not conscious when you're in there.
Yeah.
So it's not like It's not like if you were in a dark room and then randomly a hook came in and
And I mean, honestly, there's a lot of people out here who shouldn't have kids.
Right.
I mean, if you know you could barely take care of yourself, then you probably should not be having
kids.
If
you and your husband are struggling for money and you live
if you guys are barely eating, then I don't think it's smart to have a kid.
No.
But then people say, well, they could just put them up for adoption. But look at our adoption system. It is not that great.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm pro-choice.
I'm pro-choice.
I think that some people should not have kids.
Yeah,
so
it should be a choice. And whenever I say pro-choice, people are like, you condone the killing of fetuses? That's not what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm...
Yes, I do.
Right. See, you just don't care about it. But how you sound. But
well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm pro-kill babies. I'm pro... Honestly, the way I look at it is save a baby. You know?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
The next issue I have written down is guns. And Ted Cruz says that it is the right to self-defense and the essential component of freedom in the United States.
That's not true.
Okay, you don't believe that's true. I kind of believe it's true. I think that everybody, you should have a gun because your government might come and try to, take your gun, so you kind of need a gun to protect yourself.
Well, my thing is the whole...
There's bad people in the world.
I think it's okay to have guns for that reason, for, say, in a time of martial law. But when people defend it and say about the Constitution to defend against tyranny, we're already victims of tyranny, and guns aren't helping at all. So, if you think about the FEMA camps, people being ripped from their homes, and that's for another episode. We're going to get into that someday. But when people bring up the Constitution and say, "Well, we have to be able to form a militia,"
yeah.
Well, that was in a different time where we only had 1 million people in the country. You could say that,
but I'm going to disagree with you, Jack. There's some crazy people out here. You go to the gas station, you pull in front of a dude or something, he may pull out a gun and shoot you. So I think that everybody should have a gun to protect themselves against other people. So.
Yeah, I mean, because when they say that, I can't agree with the people who say they want to ban guns either, because the people who are going to use them for bad are going to get them anyway. They're going to find a way.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to do something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these school shooters or whatever, they're going to find something else.
The next issue I have is the Federal Reserve and taxes and that kind of stuff. He wants to audit the Fed. That's the only thing I basically like about Ted Cruz.
Right.
He wants to audit the Fed, and that's been something that I've wanted to see happen for years. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
agree
really.
with that 100%.
I honestly don't know much about that, but
I mean, just the fact that the Federal Reserve can pump money into any system that they want without having no sorts of backing, I think that's a problem.
Yeah, they can pretty much make money.
Yes, just print it off, and it's a problem. It causes inflation.
Yeah.
So I agree with him on that. The next issue is foreign policy.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that the United States should restore leadership on a global scale. So basically, he's not like myself. He wants to basically inject the United States into more of other countries' issues. And I have a problem with that because I think that every person or every country should defend themselves. And don't give me that, oh, well, they're poor and they can't defend themselves and all that stuff. There's always a will and a way. That's all. Well,
see, whenever I don't like the idea of being in everyone's business and injecting ourselves either, because I think we're not the police of the world. We shouldn't have to do that. But at the same time, after World War I, when Europe was in shambles, and we decided that we weren't going to do anything about it because it wasn't our business, and Adolf Hitler started taking over, and we operated on the principle of neutrality, and we didn't want to do anything about it until then. They were really strong, and we almost let it slip too far. That's my only worry, but at the same time, I don't feel like Germany. I don't think there's any crazy leaders of superpowers. Obviously, there's ISIS, but they're not leaders of super nations.
That was like 1945, so
right.
I don't think that the same thing that happened in 1945 could happen today. And that's the same thing with like the civil rights stuff in the 60s. I don't think all that stuff would fly today. So people are too politically correct to let any of that stuff happen. So.
Well, see, I wonder, I don't know if America's the only place that has a thing with PC right now. Are we? Like, if you go to like the UK, are they?
They're pretty
talking
similar
about that?
to us. So
you think like Germany or something? I mean, because I honestly feel like that's an American thing. Political correctness. I feel like that's
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to look into that though.
Yeah, but so now we're going to talk about a few of his controversies. He doesn't have as many as the other candidates.
Good thing. That's a good thing.
The only thing that I could come up with is Lyin Ted Cruz and
Lyin Ted.
The Zodiac Killer, and those are.
See, what is this thing about the Zodiac Killer?
I have no clue. They're all things that have came out of Donald Trump's mouth.
Of course.
So, I mean, but whenever Donald attacks somebody, he basically destroys their campaign. So
he's like, "Look, guys, I know
he's
the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah,
and we're gonna win. You can't let the Zodiac Killer win."
So
yeah, in terms of that, he is Lyin Ted, and I think he's wishy-washy in debates, and he'll say things and fit the story to his ideals.
I think he's a pretty good debater. I think he could destroy Hillary in a debate.
Oh yeah. Well, because I think
destroy her.
Yeah, I don't understand how Bernie Sanders. How people don't understand that he dominates every debate he's in against her, because he sees through all of her BS, and then CNN says, "Well, Hillary dominated the debate." Well, all the polls say Bernie smash.
better, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll talk about Bernie next time.
And the only
but-
reason that Hillary has the votes, specifically the black vote, is because of her name recognition.
Right.
If people were actually smart enough to actually look into what she stands for and all that stuff, I think Bernie would probably be better among them.
Well, and there's so many different stories. Bernie Sanders is an old man, so if you go back in the 50s and 60s, he handcuffed himself to a black girl who was being mistreated, and said, "I'm not leaving. This is injustice." I don't know if you've ever seen that speech by Killer Mike, the artist.
Yeah,
You turned me over to that.
kind
and,
of. Yeah.
That's the main thing I like about Bernie Sanders, that he's such a social liberal.
Yeah.
I don't mean socialist. I just
But
mean
he's
in terms
just,
of
he's just not fiscally responsible.
right.
Fiscally
I love
responsible.
his social views. Just pretty much everything matches with me. But this
do
isn't
too.
about me. This is
Yeah.
about Lyin Ted.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get back to Ted. Is he electable on a scale of 1 to 10? I say he's a 3.
I also said he's a 3. But
I
in
didn't
terms
know
of
that.
trustworthiness, me and you are going to differ a lot.
Yeah, I gave him a 4.
I gave him a 7, and I'll tell you why.
Why did
so,
you give him a 7?
so we both have electability 3 out of 10. I don't want him in the White House. In terms of trustworthiness, apart from him being known as Lyin Ted, but that's also a Donald Trump thing, he seems really, really safe because he's not very radical in what he's saying. I mean, yeah, he's a conservative, so he wants to do pro-life or whatever, but none of the stuff he says is super, super crazy. Like Bernie Sanders, he wants to have free tuition for college for young people and do all this stuff. I feel like Cruz is the Obama of the conservative party. He's just kind of there, and he's just
Yeah.
kind of,
But except he won't get elected.
right.
Obama.
He won't get elected. That's
So-
why I think he's a 3 out of 10. But he is a safe
Do you
candidate.
support him? On
Absolutely
a scale of
not.
1 to 10, I give him a 1. I don't support him.
I give him a 1. Just because I am not a conservative. I was raised a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat anymore. But I still hold a lot of things, a lot of Democratic values. And I just, things that he says sometimes are morally wrong. I can't agree with pro-life. I can't agree with the gun thing, foreign policy. There's too many things that I can't agree with to want to elect him or support him in any way.
Yep. So, next episode, we will be discussing,
Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont.
yes, the 74-year-old Jewish guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Somehow
just
still
gonna
in the
say
race.
it. I'm just going to say it. The Jews, they control society. They want Bernie in the office.
Are they going to do it?
That'll probably get me in trouble. But maybe I'll have to cut that part out. I don't know. We'll see. But
It's not that bad.
until next time.
We wish you love, peace, and soul.
Yeah, I was supposed to say that. But
Well, I said it.
good job, Jack.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Lyin Ted, see you later.